Like, it's crazy because I've got a bad knee injury, what ended me. I had like 4 or 5 operations on my knee. He had a bad knee. He was doing something, the vault when you're doing like gymnastics. He banged his left knee on that and he just finished him. But he said he was better than me. And he wouldn't lie, but opportunities weren't great back then.
And do you think by proxy he was living vicariously through you?
But the brilliant thing with my dad, he never put pressure on me. My mum could never come to the games. Micah. No. My dad, he didn't used to say a thing. He used to come and watch. And at that age, there's not much really you can say. Like the parents now, but they're absolute shambles. On the side, shouting this and going through this. Just let them be. Let them enjoy themselves and let them get to the level where they need to be. Once you get to that 15, 16, that's when you start, okay, if you want to do this for real, this is what you're going to have to do. Mm-hmm. But there's parents on the sideline now, under 7s, under 8s, shouting. It's absolutely embarrassing. But my dad never got involved. Took me there, supported me if I needed it, and that was it. Never, ever said, like, you need to do this or you need to do that. Never got involved.
Credit to him then.
It was amazing. I can't speak highly enough of my dad. My dad's the most humble man. It's weird because my mum's really like, I won't say flashy, but loves the finer things in life. And my dad's completely different. Dad still lives in the old house I was brought up in Chapeltown. He won't move. He won't move.
There's a perception, one could argue, of black men in the entertainment space, black men in the sports space who are very much about the material wealth and gain that goes with that. And from knowing you, from the period of time I've known you, you're very much not like that. And I wonder what your take is on the current football perception of the modern day footballer. Do you think it's one in which is very much driven by the status, and has football been lost? Or do you think football is still there?
No, I think football's definitely still there. I think what's happened now is the players are earning a lot more. It's as simple as that. And the older generation are very bitter.
Are they really?
Of course they are. The older, because in their head, they're deemed as better players. And financial, I don't think it's fair to go in financials, but say the average wage in the Premier League now is 80 grand a week. And back then it would have been, I don't know, 5, 10 grand a week. I mean, so it's all relative to the time that you're playing. But it's a lot of bitterness going back with the old pro. I don't think football's losing itself. I do think that footballers are more quick to show what they have in terms of cars, houses, and that sort of thing. But I think that's led by America. Like, there's a lot of English sports stars who look up to the industry in America, and they see, NFL and basketball players with what they have, and they aspire to be that. But in terms of the football, the argument, it doesn't really fall with me because like Liverpool and Man City now are two of the best teams we've ever seen in terms of like Manchester City getting 100 points in the Premier League. Some might say it was more competitive back then, but you weren't seeing that. Before, you used to be able to win the league with late 78 or 80
Excuse me. Does that, sorry to interrupt you there, for someone who's not into football,
yeah,
does that mean that they're winning literally every single game, pretty much?
Well, apart from Arsenal a couple of years ago, they called Invincible, so they didn't lose all season. But there's 38 games, and you get 3 points a game. Like, to get 100 points, it's unheard of. So, in answer to your question, I think it's difficult because back then there was no social media. Now everything's social media. Yeah, and you want the whole package. If you have 1 million followers on Instagram, 1 million or 2 million, Twitter, whatever it may be, comes with opportunities. And you only play football for a short period of time. I was lucky. Started at 17 and my contract finished when I was 31. I wanted to get to 35, but injuries stopped that. But footballers are cottoning on to the fact that now it's more of a brand. It's more than just football. So they're using their profile, their status to say, well, actually, when I finish football, I can go into, I don't know, punditry. I can go into business. I can go, whatever that may be. They're making sure they're using from every, and so they should. They should. Why shouldn't they use from their profile and the opportunities that they can get from it? The only downfall is if you don't play well, a lot of people can start throwing stones at you because they're saying they're taking the eye off the football.